a part of my dad's family, I would know loads of Jewish people because he had the proper Jews on his side. I've got brothers and sisters that I've never met as a grown up. Like I met them when I was like 2,
Kind of know that feeling, isn't it?
but I've never met them. Don't even know their names because I don't remember being 2. I remember seeing a really old woman and a really old man and being told that they were my nan and granddad, but then they died, so I never saw them again. And they were well old. You know, when you go into somebody's house and you can smell decay, and it's not the furniture and it's not like dirty house, it's them. Like, yeah, it's not their clothes, it's them. They are being eaten by moths. That was literally what it was like when I walked in, and that's why I remember going there and meeting them, because they were the mothiest, balliest people I've ever met. Like, you could tell that they'd escaped the camps. They were very Auschwitz, like, escapee. Like, they was always looking for that cage around them. In a way, I'm glad I didn't grow up with weird foreign grandparents. If they would have been younger, I probably would have had to learn, like, Polish or whatever so I could speak to my granddad.
Funding received.
Well, I'm pretty sure my biological dad spoke a bit of Polish. Like, I say a bit, he must have known enough to talk to his dad, who didn't speak very good English. Yeah, families are stupid. I remember having a really awesome family growing up because we all lived near each other. We just all, if there was a birthday or Christmas or a party or anything like that, there was always like 30 people. Yeah, literally like a double, a dual carriage, not a dual carriageway, like a two-way road with a car park either side of it, like a row for cars either side of it, and that was my nan at my aunt's back gate, at our back gate. It was awesome. Like I say, it was good when we was kids and we'd go and do Christmas at my aunt's because she had like a massive extension and like a table, because she's got, just with her and her fella and the kids and respective partners, there was like, I'd say a good 12 or 15 people sat around the kitchen table for Christmas, like for normal roast dinner, Sunday dinner. So for Christmas, there'd be like everybody's kids that had come round and like the rest of the exes and partners and whatever else. Like, yeah, and like their kids were more my age as well. Like they were already grown up when I was born. Like my sister's 13 years older than me, and she's like I think 3 or 4 years younger than my youngest cousin. Like it's weird when I think about it because my oldest cousin isn't that different age-wise to my mom. Because there's like an 8-year gap between my aunt and my mom. So like the gap, as I say, there's a 13-year gap between me and my sister, but the gap between me and my niece is only 10 years. So I always was more relatable to my niece than I am to my sister. Because she was a grown-up before I was even alive, in the eyes of a child. It's just not the same when there's not 20 of you. Like like when you're used to there being like if it's just you and you're used to it being just you, it might be weird
Well, it was just me and my mum.
if there's a dozen people or so. But if you're used to a dozen people and then all of a sudden there's another like half a dozen people there as well, it just makes it more than just a family get together. Then it's a party because somebody's going to bring beer and somebody's going to get a little bit too drunk and start a fight or an argument or whatever. Like, my dad was kind of the cooler, like my actual real dad, not my biological dad. But yeah, like he was the one that would come in and settle family arguments. Go, look, you're his fucking brother. Shake his hand, give him a hug, fucking sort it out. It was over money. Like, here, I'll give you the fucking money. Shut up. You know, he was one of the. He wasn't like the Don, but he kind of was. Like, if anybody had a trouble from their side of the family, they'd always come to Uncle Jim. Go on, you want to fucking hit him? Hit him! Stop fucking about. You're not going to stand there all night making your mum upset. If you want to have a fight with your brother, fucking do it. I don't want to be out here. It's 1:30 in the morning. Oh, good old days. The fewer people you know, the simpler it is. Like, because I don't have that sort of drama now. Yeah, talking that's loud, it's my neighbours.
Taking a long time. But it comes a realisation that we pushed everyone away.
It's not even necessarily that you push people away, but people grow apart anyway.
Yeah.
Like, even all my cousins ended up, even though they were all so close, like one moved to Great Yarmouth, one moved deeper into London, one moved to Malta, one moved to somewhere else. Like they all got their families going and moved and done their own separate thing. Like, and they, for all intents and purpose, stopped talking.
You just had that other family in your own right, didn't you?
Yeah, they were just too busy for each other, which sounds horrible, but when you've all got a family, you've all got a job, and you've all got shit going on. Like, some of my cousins' kids have got kids, you know? Like, one of my cousins got really, really sick and died, and everybody sort of came together at the end and pulled in for her, and got there and was having, like, a week stay at a time, and they do like the round robin for the last couple of months she was alive, and she just didn't want to be here no more. Like, the amount of drugs she was on, she would just burst out crying and then start laughing, and then she wouldn't even remember why she was laughing in the first place, and then she'd start crying again. And it was like, yeah, like she ended up doing herself in on New Year's Eve while everyone was out. She was like, nah, go on, everyone out, go out and have a nice night. Like, everyone go out and have a good time, it's New Year's Eve, and then she just topped herself. But it was like, she wanted to go to Switzerland and have it done.
Yeah.
She was like, if I can get a plane out there, I'm going. I don't want to be like this. Nah, because she'd been on, like, she was on the maximum money, like, on all of her benefits, because she needed literal 24-hour care and stuff like that, and her kids was doing it. Because she was so ill, because she was so independent, when she got ill, it was like somebody had fired a gun in the air, everybody just looked around shocked, not really knowing what to do. Like, it was bizarre. It was very bizarre. She weren't really all that long. When I say that long, it probably felt like a lifetime to her. It was a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But she, as I say, she was not herself. She wasn't Sonia. She wasn't my cousin. By the end, she was just somebody that looked a bit like her.
Yeah, from start to finish it was about 6 months, my mum.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it felt like 60 years.
I can't remember what it was that she had.
On adrenaline. But I just can't imagine it must be like to live on adrenaline for 10 years or longer.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a generational thing as well. I think the generation before us were made out of fucking sturdy stuff.
Yeah.
We're all pretty much pansies. Like, I say that in the sense of, if I was my granddad's generation, I wouldn't be suffering. I'd be a bit gutted. I wouldn't have depression. I'd just be a bit down. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have a diagnosis because I wouldn't talk about it or acknowledge the fact that it happens. And I'd probably be a normal functioning society member under the surface, like, or on the surface. But because we have things like care systems and benefit systems and things that take care of people who can't take care of themselves, you kind of have that option to not take care of yourself. Like, even if you're on basic benefits like me, like, if you're unable to work,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't think that you should just get everything for free. I'm not saying that, but like, it's so
Funding
stupid
received.
to try and get a decent amount of money to survive on when you need it, where there are people out there that don't need it, that, like, snide the system just because they don't want to work, because they're snowflakes.
We should have a benefit system that protects the vulnerable and then no burden it's not been that. But I reckon it should be even more draconian because, like I say, out of the people I know on pit, I know 5 people on pit. 2 of them, right, I'm including myself, 2 of them possibly deserve it, although I still think it's a lot of money right now. But the other 3, one of them gets it just because he's got an underground.
Yeah.
And he laughs all
Yeah.
the time, but he just doesn't want to work. And if
Yeah.
he starts a job and gets told what to do, he basically threatens a bunch of guys that really fucking tell him what to do. Not supposed to,
Yeah.
he's not done the job before.
Yeah.
Lean there.
But that's what, I'll be honest, it's one of the things that does frustrate me about all that shit, because I know people that are on it that don't need it, that don't deserve it, that don't warrant it. And then there are people that are struggling that need extra help, not necessarily financially, but in some, like, just, you know, I don't know, like a double checker, somebody who you can just phone up and go, I don't know whether I should do this or not, like somebody just to give you a little bit of sensible governmental advice from a non-biased point of view, preferably. Although some would say an unbiased point of view doesn't exist, because everyone is biased in their own way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even if you only know the names of the guys, you'll instantly like one more than the other and start rooting for him. Oh, and I found out as well. You know the veins in blue cheese?
Mm.
It's caused by shrinkage and sweating of the cheese, and the cheese shrinks a little bit as it dries out, and then in the cracks, the sweat of the cheese fills in and turns into blue stuff because it's slightly different cultures,
Right.
and that's why you get like veins in cheese. It's like cheese sweat.
Well, I didn't
I
know
just
that.
thought that was pretty gross. Everybody should know not to eat blue cheese or green cheese or anything.
Everyone eats blue cheese. Deserves everything they get.
Yeah. Vive le fromage! I bet Ash eats blue cheese.
I do not eat blue cheese.
Yeah, of course you do. You're French.
He eats camembert.
I do eat camembert.
Green.
Oh, it's lovely. I haven't had it in ages, actually.
Between camembert and other cheeses,
Yeah,
it would make you sick.
I was like a fan of it.
It's a very strong cheese.
Yeah.
But to be fair, though, you can get some that are quite shit. Oh, fuck. I'm really gutted. I'm playing NBA, right? And I'm playing against arguably one of the best players in the league. I'm having to guard him, and he's guarding me, and it's fucking horrible.
And you eat bull semen.
The ripples made by the attacks on Earth have toppled
There.
governments and paved the way for opportunists to ride a
Jeez.
wave of populist fury.
They mix a pint of jizz in every vat of camembert. Probably. What it tastes like anyway. Do you think Google secretly steal your fingerprints from your device every time you try and log in? I think they're like, right, if ever he commits a crime, we've got him on the database.
Some people think
Funding
people,
received.
do something like
Well, it wouldn't shock me.
I do find it funny, though, how some people think that the vaccine is like a microchip from the government so they can track you and stuff like that. But you think about, like, they're already doing that through the phones anyway. Like
Yeah, they don't need to because you're tracking yourself for them.
Like, it literally says allow tracking for like every app that you open. Like, do you want to allow this phone to track your location? This app to track your location or whatever?
that. Actually, no.
Yep.
It depends on the app. If you're on Just Eat, then yeah.
No, just eat. But anyone do it because even just eat, you're pretty innocent, might still sell it.
Well, supposedly they're not supposed to, but they do. Because there's lots of money in it. If you think about how many people signed up to websites and gave all their data, like all their personal information, like their likes and dislikes, and didn't realise that it was a commodity that could make a company millions and millions of dollars. Because it's just not something that the average person would think.
thing is, like, GDPR has changed a lot of that sort of stuff now.
Yeah, well, they're
It's
working
very
towards
strict.
making everything a bit more fair, aren't they? So, like, companies can't. Well, they're not supposed to be able to anyway, but they'll
Funding
have
received.
So if you're being cold called, you can literally say to them, "Can you remove my information from your database?" Then they have to do it. They can't keep your data.
What they do.
They do, because I work for a call centre. You just put them in a 6-month callback.
Yeah, but you haven't since GDPR.
No, what they still do.
Yeah, but it's still basic company operating procedure in a lot of these cold calling companies.
Funding
Not.
received.
No, like I say, mate, GDPR has changed everything drastically.
I know they're trying to, like, they're making it much more difficult for anyone to, like, fuck other people over through, you know. But it's more to do with phone scams and stuff that I've been reading into, so I know they're trying to do a lot of things.
Oh yeah,
about
the phone scamming ones. Oh, fuck. Yeah, if they keep your data, that's because they're scammers and they wouldn't give a fuck either way. But it's funny because I sort of got out of something like this on TikTok actually, because I used GDPR against them, whereby I need to turn this down. There you go. I had two TikTok accounts somehow. I don't know how I made the other one, but the one that I wasn't using had my mobile number tied against it. So I went in the settings and everything like that, and I tried to get TikTok to remove it, and it says that this action will take 30 days to process or whatever like that.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck that. So I emailed them, and I said, this is my username. I do not consent to you holding data about my mobile number. Please remove this. Literally tried it the next morning, and they to add my mobile onto my actual account, and it worked. So they literally removed it. So that was a good way to sort of get around this 30-day waiting.
Yeah. Well, that 30-day waiting is where they just record all your data before you withdraw it.
But they had it anyway, so they don't need to re-record it.
And I mean, like, put it on like a 6-month callback file. I don't know what else to call it. That's just what we called it, the 6-month callback file.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know the callback lists. Yeah. No.
Person that's calling.
No, but the things. I think things are very different now, though, compared to how they were for you, because data accuracy. Well, quite literally, but yeah, data accuracy and everything like that. It's all very, very different now.
Yeah. It's just I don't follow the technology, and that's where a lot of it is. Like, a lot of this stuff is just way beyond my pay grade.
Yeah.
No, I get enough about technology to use my phone, but much beyond that, and I am not even as good as a small child. I downloaded this game, and the first time I played it, I did really, really well, and now I can't even beat my own high score. And I've played it for like a week, and I've beat myself from the day one score. Not even a good game. Like, it's not even a hard game to play. It's like Tetris, but not really Tetris.
A little bit more than thingy jiggy.
Yeah.
See what happens when fucking Earth destroys itself.
You're the Last of Us. I'm going to assume everybody's seen Pandorum. It's a horror film where it's actually quite good.
I've never heard of it.
That's my case. I'm loving these clean sodas, dude.
Get me father.
Well, boys, I'm gonna go play some 2K with all of my pals. So
Right, yeah, bro.
Alright.
nice to see you guys. If you're still on in a couple of hours, which is quite late, it's probably not. But if you are, then I'll speak to you then.
Alright.
Yeah.
So,
Ta-ra.
good luck.
Thank you.
A colonist has died. Funding received.
The recent colonist deaths are a worrisome trend which cannot be ignored.
Funding received.
See what you've started? World War III. You crashed Earth's economy. You're the one sat on a quarter of the world's money.
Look at that. I've got a reserve of 2K down that one.
Funding received.
Go, my fuel's going back up again. You're welcome, mate. No, that was a bird.
Delicious, man. Taste it.
That was a fizzy pot bird all day long. That wasn't fucking hell. He started malty.
Our sponsor has informed us that it's now playing a major role in peacekeeping efforts. They are also providing humanitarian aid to vast territories that are affected by the crisis.
Ooh. That's an issue.
Well, yeah, fuck. What was I about to say? If they're all up there, bring them all down, and hopefully you'll get a second one out of it before it disappears. But they're all on Mars.
Yeah, I'm actually on the way up there.
Research complete.
Yeah.
So I'm stopping the automated instantly.
Funding received.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what's that? Don't know how long they're going to be down. And you not want my
Yeah, it might be. Don't send all the ships. Save yourself one. Bring some more people down.
no room. What?
In the dome.
181 out of 182.
Oh shit. Maybe build a little dome, just put some houses in it.
I was planning on building another mega, but this is kind of upset the apple cart a little bit, Blue.
Pimp My Drone, episode 1.
Funding received. Funding received.
Actually, haven't you got a second hotel that's only open to tourists?
I'm not turning down just 20 people. That's an acting for the fall.
Yeah.
I've got 21 homeless blue.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
USA is offering 155 food for 50 metal.
Yeah, that's brilliant. But it'll be there in a minute.
You say that, I don't know how long it's been there.
I've got 5 souls, mate.
Oh yeah, but it literally takes a second.
Blue, I've got 5 souls, mate. Just chill. It won't go anywhere. I don't know if these are coming or going.
Funding received.
There we go. Who was it? USA?
Yeah.
Hey, Blue.
Funding received. Meteor incoming.
I thought it was the door, it wasn't, it was my neighbour.
You see the
Made
other
him
one?
jump. What's that?
Well, the one I went for was 50 concrete for 96 food
Yeah.
again, and I'm going to go for this iron metal one, so that'll be 236 food rotating.
For the homeless solution, you could maybe just make the smallest possible dome and just put a hotel in it and some parks.
Well, the only solution will even easier than that. But to do the dome, if I make a dome, I've got a million and one responsibilities to make that dome functionality.
Mm.
So, what we do is just go replace the 12 with the 24. Not as pretty, not as nice, not as great a bonus, but
Funding received.
What's Martian University saying? Just out of curiosity.
engineers 19, geologists 23, scientists 22. Because enough. If I can get enough time with the ship to do it, when I get up there, I will send down. I've got a ship. Right, so we know pretty much what we need, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Engineers, scientists, medics, wasn't it?
3 medics, yeah.
Yeah. Medic, scientist, scientist, engineer, laboratory, so literally we need an equal number of both really, so they'll come as they come, if you get me.
Yeah.
Well, is it engineers for the polymer as well?
Yeah.
Forests. That's why there's so many fucking
Yeah.
Good, done it?
Yeah, juicy.
Alright, now I'm gonna have to turn to lead into...
There are Earthsick colonists.
Good colony. Long interest.
I think that's probably just because you sacked everyone's house.
Yeah, well, the people coming down are more important, unfortunately. Hello, hello, Sharon. Long time no speak. I got very tense, boy.
Huh?
I got very tense, didn't
You still got all your little pods as well.
I? I know, but I've got a plan for them. And I don't want
New
to,
colonists have arrived.
I don't want to slow my, what's I call it, my bots up until, the lockdown hits, if you get me.
Mm.
Struggling with fuel.
Yeah.
The supply embargo is now in effect.
Okay. Those people got down just in time.
Mm.
This is basically what the plan was with the little pod thing. And
Yep.
they should all have you know, little, 500. The only thing I didn't bring enough down, I was falling
Tensions are rising at a rate faster than...
kind of low, and it longer for me to reply. Then it's just crashed.
Wow.
I'm hoping it oh, hello.
Saved.
Well, I have no control. None whatsoever. Just leave it a couple of minutes, see if it
Hmm.
even my padlock out.
Are there any jobs you could open?
I have no pad access.
Oh shit, yeah.
I didn't even press the
Hasn't
middle.
turned itself off, has it?
I didn't even press the middle button to see if it'll do anything, but
Yeah.
there we go again.
Yeah.
I better turn it off just in case it's damaging my PlayStation.
Yeah. Good old autosave. Hopefully.